Zansetsu. Nagoriyuki slices down everything before him in this powerful long-range attack.
Like, what? These starter guides are like, they're pretty amazing, right? They're doing such a good job to even be like attempting something like this. I just love the fact that Arxis are even doing this. I haven't seen a fighting game be this motivated, be this focused on getting new players into their game in a way that's kind of instructive and not pandering and transparent. Like, this is great. It's helping newcomers understand how to play. Of course, it's for old hands. They're super insightful as well. But also just as a plain marketing tool, these videos are doing gangbusters, right? And their channel's getting tons of subs. Over 100,000 views in a day. That's pretty damn good. It's really getting people interested and hooked on Guilty Gear Strive. This is something that all fighting games should be doing, frankly. It's kind of shocking that this is really the first fighting game that's given a real stab at it. You would have thought this would be a no-brainer from the start, right? The King of Fighters 15 trailers are hype, but they're not educational. Like, these are helping people get interested in the game, learn about the game, help them maybe pick a character. I hope they keep this up throughout the game's competitive lifespan, like a real open dialogue with their community and just being transparent about how the game is played. One of the reasons MOBAs are big is because the developers really embrace their community and have an open dialogue with them. Fighting games are notoriously bad at that. And I hope this is the first step towards changing that. I'm pretty sure when Riot comes on the scene with their fighting game, they're going to embrace their community. But it's good to see Japanese developers also picking up the baton in that respect. When the Riot game comes out, fighting game developers are going to have to roll their socks up because you know they're going to take the initiative. But it's really encouraging to see this. I'm stoked. Now, Nagoriyuki is a character I was really interested in from the moment I saw him. Because like, he's a really cool design. But recently, it seems that he might be a Slayer replacement. And Slayer is my main in Guilty Gear. Look, I imagine that they're holding off on a lot of these fan favorites like Slayer, Baiken, Ino, Testament for DLC because they know it'll sell, right? Let's see what this character is. He looks quite like, from what I saw in a few match videos, he seems like a bit of a powerhouse, like a long-range, slow powerhouse.
Nagoriyuki is a vampire samurai who wields powerful attacks using his sword. Vary the pace of your pressure on the opponent at your will, before finishing them off with his devastating special moves. Blood Rage. When the blood gauge fills up, Nagoriyuki enters the Blood Rage state. During Blood Rage, Nagoriyuki's slash and heavy slash attacks gain improved range and damage, and he gains access to the move.
Did you see the range on that?
Range and damage.
That is a full screen sword swipe. Yeah, just whiff punish it, man. Just whiff punish the full screen sword.
And he gains access to the move Zansetsu. However, his health.
Look at the health. Look at the range. Look at the health. How fast is this?
Move Zansetsu.
What? Well, this is like his special like berserker stance. So this is not what he's normally like. That is wild, though.
His health drains over time while in Blood Rage.
Oh,
and he cannot
okay.
use his other special moves.
Can't use other special moves. Interesting. Health drains over time. Oh, so there's quite a big penalty for this. I guess the counterplay, I'm guessing, is just maybe jump around a lot. Because I'm sure he has a way to anti-air you whilst in this state too.
Zarameyuki.
Zarameyuki
releases his fighting spirit, forming a projectile. Using this move increases the blood gauge.
Increases the blood gauge. Well, let's look at the blood gauge.
Using this move increases the blood gauge.
Ha, okay.
Kamuriyuki. Nagoriyuki performs a lunging attack, knocking the opponent down on hit.
Bear in mind, he has incredible range and damage, but this character doesn't have an air dash, right? And he doesn't have a double jump. It's quite an interesting idea. He's either going to be really good or really bad in the first version, I think.
On either hit or block, so you can follow up with another attack. This makes the move versatile and easy to use. Using this move increases the blood.
That's a lot of damage, man, from mid-range.
Chizuriyuki.
Shizuriyuki. I see a theme in the naming.
Air attack that covers a large area. A follow-up attack activates on either hit or block, sending the opponent flying away.
It seems like he has really strong hit confirms, but even if you're not confirming from a hit, like a lot of these specials seem to give you pressure on block.
It can be cancelled into other special moves on hit or block.
Oh wow.
Using this move increases the blood gauge.
That's half bar from like a mid-range poke. Blood-sucking universe, this is a Slayer move.
A command grab that absorbs health from the opponent.
Oh wow.
Nagoriyuki gains health depending on the
So it's basically like it's Slayer's one, but it knocks down.
amount absorbed, and the blood gauge decreases. Try going for this move strategically when the opponent is focused on staying grounded and blocking.
No, he dash
Going for this move
cancel.
strategically
Or blood
when the
dash
opponent
cancel.
is focused on staying grounded
Right.
and blocking.
I really hope Slayer still makes it. Like, he's my favorite character. I'd be really bummed if it's just, like, this is the Slayer replacement.
Go.
And he looks cool, but, like, I still want Slayer.
Wasureyuki. Nagoriyuki barrages the opponent with slashes in this powerful invincible
That is a cool animation.
Nagoriyuki
Huh.
opponent with slashes in this powerful invincible attack. Due to its fast startup
Another
and
anti-air.
invincibility at the beginning of the move, it can be used in combos or to interrupt the opponent's offense. This attack has short range.
The real ukiyo-e influence. He reminds me of that famous ukiyo-e painter. Of course, not the waves, but also the art in his blade is what's his name? Kuniyoshi. So just to let you all know, the skeleton on his blade is a direct reference to this famous Kuniyoshi painting. He's all about the ukiyo-e, isn't it?
Due to its
Isn't he?
fast startup and
See? This skeleton on his blade is a direct reference to Takayasha and the Witch and the Skeleton. See? And of
used
course,
in combos or to
this
interrupt
wave
the opponent's offense.
is a reference to Hokusai. There you go, that. Which is probably the most famous ukiyo-e painting, like, ever. The Great Wave of Kanagawa.
Zansetsu. Nagoriyuki slices down everything before him in this powerful long-range attack. It can only be
Oh, so that's the Zansetsu. Look at the damage.
and Nagoriyuki leaves Blood Rage state after this move is activated.
Wow,
Nagoriyuki
look at
leaves
that.
Blood Rage state.
So it seems projectile
this was-
invincible too.
Acti-
Yeah. I wonder if it's fully invincible. That is a fucking full screen death blade.
You can aim for the opponent from outside their attack range due to the impressive
Like, what?
as Nagoriyuki's health depletes rapidly while in Blood Rage state. Leave the state by using Zansetsu.
I see.
Thank you for watching.
So the only way to leave Blood Rage seems to be Zansetsu, which is you need 50% tension to do that. Man, this character seems like he'll be a nightmare to balance because he's so unorthodox. Super dominating neutral and with his range and incredible damage, but limited air mobility. Characters like this tend to be good though. Yeah, it's like Hakumen, Slayer, and Abba had a baby.
Watching.
That's the perfect way of describing it. Actually, I didn't see how much health he loses.
And he gains access to the
what?
move Zansetsu.
I just looked at his
Special
health bar.
moves. During
Look at his
Blood
health.
Rage, Nagoriyuki's slash and heavy slash attacks gain improved range and damage, and he gains access to the move.
Like, let's count this.
During Blood Rage, Nagoriyuki's slash and
2,
heavy slash attacks
3,
gain improved range and
4,
damage, and he
5,
gains access to the move
6,
Zansetsu.
7, 8.
However-
8 seconds in, he's lost half his health. Is that going to be worth it? So maybe you don't want to go into Blood Rage. But if he does, he gets that insane Zansetsu as well. I don't know. Let's see how it turns out. So, all right, Blood Rage is a penalty for reckless play. Interesting. But while in Blood Rage, he gets the one-hit kill, basically, with the Zansetsu. I want to say maybe a gambling type of character, which tend not to be strong, but again, we just don't know enough information at this point. Probably, I'm guessing most people are predicting he's going to be too weak, but better to err on that side and buff him over time than have a character that breaks the meta from day one, right? Leo, the king of dickheads, basically. Leo is kind of Guile, but Guile with like crazy left-right mix-ups. He's not really a defensive character. He's like a, get-in-your-face gorilla.
Graviet Word. Leo sends out a projectile that flies
Graviet
forward,
Word.
hitting multiple times. Eisensturm.
Is Leo a German name? Because both Leo in Tekken and Guilty Gear seem to be German, or at least they have German names, move names.
Attack with invincibility on startup. The heavy slash version deals higher damage, but has longer recovery.
Leopold. I'll be frank, I like most of the Strive redesigns. I'm not too sure about Leo's one. I just feel like he looks a bit more generic, especially his neutral pose. I really liked how in Xrd he looks like a lion ready to pounce, but here he's just like some dude in a trench coat, you know? It reminds me of that guy eating burgers on Soul Stage in Xrd, you know, the Infinite Burger Man.
Brynhildr stance. Leo takes the stance with his back to his opponent. He can go into the stance from a set number of moves. Although you can use a variety of powerful attacks only while in Brynhildr stance, you cannot perform other actions such as jumping or blocking.
These are so clean. I really like the way they've presented these.
As Leo is vulnerable to throws, be careful when using this while in the opponent's throw range.
Look, can I say something about Wild Throw? So what they did with Soul's Wild Throw is that it doesn't, you can't combo from it anymore. It's just a straight up command throw, and they just made it just do a lot of damage.
While in the opponent's throw.
And yeah, it does an explosion now, which is like before it didn't explode, did it? I guess that sells it, but I don't know. I don't feel like the animation of the move sells the damage. I think what they should have done is like a throw and then he like stomps on them or something.
While in the opponent's throw range.
I guess they didn't want to change it because it was iconic. I don't know. They could have done something else with it to sell that damage. Oh well.
Cleanse and Dunkel.
Not a big thing.
Leo lunges forward with command grab that has great range. It deals more damage than standard. Leo lunges forward with command grab that has great range.
He didn't used to have this, right?
It deals more damage than a standard throw and cannot be teched. Blitzschlag.
The Blitzschlag.
An attack that makes the opponent crumple. If you hold the button down, Leo will remain in Brynhildr stance after the attack. This move has long startup, but it leaves Leo at the advantage when blocked.
Wow, that seems super annoying. I'm already getting tilted just watching this.
Liedenstoff Dirigent.
Good luck to the commentators when they try to pronounce these names.
Liedenstoff Dirigent.
I think you missed a bit there, mate. Lidenschaft des... What? I think you just gave up. Like, Lidenschaft Dirigent. Anyway.
His standing far slash and standing heavy slash attacks work well as pokes. His heavy slash attacks can cancel into his slash attacks.
Oh man, look how obnoxious this is. Even the freaking starter guide. Try blocking this.
Mix him up with Swide Cultist Gestuber and go into Brynhildr.
Oh my god. That looks so annoying. I was honestly never the biggest fan of Ramlethal. I don't really see her archetype working. Like, she was all about corner pressure, right? I'm trying to see how this character could work in Strive.
Ramlethal excels in range. Due to the long reach and wide area her sword attacks cover.
Ooh.
She dominates the battle at mid-range with her unique pressure.
Sounds a bit like Nagoriyuki then. Is it really Ramlethal or Ramlethal? I thought it was Ramlethal.
And the Sildo Detro. Ramlethal leaps forward, performing an overhead attack. You can evade the opponent's low-hitting attacks with this move. It knocks the opponent down on hit.
She seems completely different.
This move can't be blocked while crouching. An extremely damaging attack. It also has a quite long range. The damage dealt changes depending on the number of swords you have equipped, and the range and damage becomes quite poor when you have none left.
I guess the question was, a character that was completely centered around corner Oki, how do you make them fit in a game with wall break? And the answer is, you just make them a mid-range specialist, I guess. That's the thing, right? Like, no decent player would want to give up wall positioning for a bit more damage in terms of wall break. But I think they don't want wall Okizeme in this game. Like, if you had the option between corner pressure and wall damage, good players would basically never take the wall break unless to close the round.
Use the wide range her sword attacks cover to your advantage by hitting the opponent with the edge of her attacks at mid-range. Her standing far slash and standing heavy slash attacks make good grounded pokes. When the opponent tries to avoid the grounded neutral game by jumping in, anti-air them with forward punch. You can even follow up with her aerial slash attack. When you've got the opponent in the corner, get your offense going with the heavy slash version of Bayonetto. You can continue attacking if the opponent...
I don't know what to make of Ramlethal, sorry. Nothing in there that made me go, ha. So far, out of the ones we've watched today, Nagoriyuki just kind of stuns you with his ridiculous damage and range. Leo is already tilting me with his mix-ups. Ramlethal seems kind of a middle-of-the-road character. A more mobile Nagoriyuki. Less damage, more mobile, and starter offense in the corner. All right. Zato, I already saw a bit of this. I low-key love how Eddie looks in this. I love the teeth. I mean, they should definitely consider hiring Eddie to be like a toothpaste spokesman or something. He has wonderful teeth. I mean, look at that shiny set of dentures. I really like Zato's new look as well, but you know what? I think he needs to be a bit more slim. I mean, look at those wide childbearing hips. I don't know. I just don't like his animations are beautiful, but Zato himself should be a bit more delicate looking. What is this obsession in fighting games with just roiding up all your characters? I like to have a diversity of body types. Like, you know, I think Zato should be quite slender. Like, it doesn't make sense for him to be bulky and muscular. He literally fights from the shadows, right? Yeah, a lot of people mention in the Tekken 4 retrospective, like, oh wow, the faster characters are actually quite slimly built. Like Steve has a boxer's physique, or at least like a welterweight or whatever weight class he is.
Amorphous. Shadows approach the opponent and consume them in this powerful projectile
That looks
move.
so cool, but look at that startup. There's a super flash, and then there's like a 20-frame startup? How do you use this, though?
Team up with Eddie and start your offense.
It looks sick, but I hope it's good.
Amorphous. The attack extends quite high up, making it extremely difficult for the opponent to jump over it.
Is this supposed to be an anti-air? It seems a bit too slow for that.
You can launch a highly adaptable offense by coordinating Zato's movements with Eddie. Use Pierce as a poke against grounded opponents, and Leap against aerial opponents.
Okay.
Oppose works well against opponents when they try to attack Eddie.
Zato looks cool. Like, I think people were worried that they took out the negative edge. The thing with Zato is he's traditionally been a very powerful character, top tier in nearly every Guilty Gear, but in the last version of XR, he's actually pretty bad, isn't he? Because his drills are too negative on block, so his pressure's just busted. Busted in a bad way, I mean. On to Millia.
Millia is a character with incredibly fast movement. Bewilder your opponent with her wide offensive arsenal and endless variety of Okizeme options.
By the way, I love Millia's redesign. She looks so cool. I think this is the best she's ever looked.
This move is versatile and can be used in air combos, or performed directly after a jump to take advantage of its fast startup, catching the opponent off guard. Turbo Fall. Millia descends rapidly from...
I'm actually considering maybe I should use Millia. I love her costume and her just design and everything.
With this movement technique. The heavy slash version has longer startup, but it hits twice.
Right, typical
Also,
Millia. Okay.
Since Millia can move midair after performing this move, she can attack while the projectile is active. Even if the opponent blocks this attack, it can be hard for them to punish Millia unless she's very close. Use this move to approach the opponent from a distance, catching them off guard.
I like how they've made
Barrage.
those stage transitions much faster.
Rapidly. Capel. Millia summons a projectile directly below
Interesting. That seems...
her while midair, sending her flying up.
Huh.
This move functions as both a movement technique and an attack.
Interesting.
Millia can move in midair after the move finishes. You can use this move to bait the opponent's anti-air by changing the timing of your jump and attack.
Interesting.
Millia can take the opponent by surprise with her aerial hard slash attack after air dash. When the opponent is waiting for an aerial attack, throw off their anti-air timing using couple, or approach with a dash from the ground. Her standing far slash and standing heavy slash work well as grounded pokes. Get close to the opponent using Mirage while they're focused on blocking, and mix them up with a throw.
So,
After knocking down
same as always, really. Glass cannon, Oki, aerial mobility, Millia in a nutshell. She looks basically the same. Just without pin.